for the beginning of this video. If you happen to hear a very odd noise in the background, that is my cat's socks snoring. Yep. Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Little Bee Podcast. This is episode 31. My name is Kirsty and I am coming to you from the west coast of Scotland, about 30 miles outside of Glasgow. And this is a podcast mostly about knitting, crochet, but also a little bit about some sewing, some spinning, some dyeing, some weaving, and so on and so forth. You can find me on Instagram as Little Bee Kirsty. You can also find me on Instagram as Little Bee Accessories. You can find me on Ravelry as Little-Bee. And yeah, that's about everywhere you can find me. So let's jump in, shall we? The weather has drastically changed here in the west coast of Scotland. There's been a lot of snow in the last 3 days. And I know for anyone that watched the last podcast, I don't particularly like snow. I don't mind it when it's up on the hills and it looks really pretty. You'll see that from the clip at the beginning. And that's about as much as I like it. When it becomes very when it snows on lower ground and it's underneath my feet, I do have a tendency to fall. Every year I fall at least once. It's very painful and I make a complete fool of myself, but hey ho, it gives other people a bit of a chuckle. So yeah, let's jump straight in, shall we? Because you did not come here to watch me talk about the weather in Scotland. So I have a couple of FOs, or finished objects, if you're not completely sure about the terminology, but I can only show off one of them because two of them are a swap present for my friend Michelle, who I know watches the podcast, and she can't see these until Christmas. So I'm going to show you the only other finished object that I have, and it's not completely finished for those that are very pernickety about this sort of thing. All the ends are still there, it's not been blocked, but it's still finished, it's still off the needles. So yeah, if you can't tell already by the colour, this is my made up Mahashiv shawl that I have made out of Mothy and the Squid's speckled rainbow mini skein set that I got when she done a trunk show at the Yarn Cake in Glasgow during the summer. Now this is going to make an absolutely amazing shawl, but I have enough shawls. I have my favourite one, which is my Intralect shawl, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to pop this on my Etsy account and sell it. Once it's obviously finished, once all these dastardly ends are sewn in and I give it just a little blocking. Certainly not going to aggressively block this because it's already massive, let's put it that way. So yeah, that is the first one done and dusted. I remember on the last podcast I was showing you that I only really had like one colour left to go. I think I was on this colour here, this colour transition here, and then I just had this colour transition left to go. So as you can see, it got very, very wide at the end, so the colour transition there's not much of this last purple, which is a shame because it was my favourite colour. If I had known better, I probably would have put these colours to this end, like swapped the colours. But live and learn, live and learn. I certainly do really enjoy doing this this fade style. This is like the most obvious fade, this one here, the yellow into the orange, which is okay. The others are very subtle, but the yellow into the orange is very bam, right in your face. But that's okay, I can live with that. And hopefully whoever buys this can live with it too. So yeah, I really, really liked this project. It was a very mindless project. It's all stockinette. The occasional increase and the occasional decrease. I did have to put a marker on the increase side, increase and decrease side, so that I knew which was which. Just because sometimes if you're not paying attention, just something that catches your eye, like if it's swinging when you're knitting, is enough to make you go, right, cool, this is the right side. So for anyone that didn't see the disclaimer at the start, any weird noises you hear are possibly my cat's socks snoring, and this little bundle here is Monty. who will not come over to me because he is not a cuddly cat. Monty. Monty. He likes me, but he doesn't like me that much. You coming? No, you're just going to stand on all my stuff? Yeah, she's going to stand on all my stuff. So yeah, that's really the only finished object I can show off at the moment. So we'll just jump straight into works in progress, shall we? So my works in progress currently, I have a few, and some of them are new cast-ons. So, are you coming? What are you doing? Don't stand on my laptop. Don't stand on my knitting either. He doesn't know where to stand. Right, where are you going? He's going in the window. That's fine. So, as any regular viewers will realise, I had quite a lot of projects on the go, and I'd kind of promised myself that I would not cast on until I had minimised those projects. Didn't really work. I am kind of in the mind frame that by excluding the possibilities of casting on new and exciting things, I was really kind of weighing myself down. I was really restricting myself to what I could work on, and especially if a project I'd slightly fallen out of love with was the only thing I could work on. It just wasn't a very pleasant experience, so I decided to treat myself, and I decided to cast on. So for anyone that was recently on the Instagram, what Instagram trend? Get your yarn wishes granted. I had some lovely people grant me some amazing pattern wishes, and one of them was Ellen, who sent me the How Cold Is It pattern, which is, oh no, I'm dropping everything. It is the How Cold Is It Mittens, which is by Drunk Girl Designs. So, as you can see from this, I'm not going to say out loud what these words are, especially this one. So it's cold as F. Let's put it that way, cold as F. And I have had these mittens in my library, in my queue, for a long, long time. And, excuse me a second. I'm not good at this podcasting malarkey. I can now hear someone else is up. Someone has woken up. It's only 10 to 10 and someone's just out of bed. So this is my progress so far. The pattern calls for them to be done on 9-inch circulars, and I had originally started them on 9-inch circulars, but I have carpal tunnel in both my wrists, and it was becoming rather painful and very cramped, and so I decided it would be better just to change them onto TPNs, which the pattern does allow for, and I am just working on these. Now the pattern does state that these are meant to be made very large. They're meant to fit over a pair of gloves or another pair of mittens underneath, because what it is it's meant to be so cold outside that you need to layer up. But I mean, that's a lot of positive ease. Negative. Positive? Negative. Positive. I'm not so good with the technical stuff. So that's a lot. That's an inch on both sides. And then I do have obviously a wider hand, so it's only that much extra on the hand. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm only going to do this one. And then I'm probably going to put it on my like on my wall as a display or something, or a sample. And then I might look into decreasing the cuff and making it more fitted. And there's certainly notes on the pattern to say that if you don't get gauge, go down a needle size rather than altering your wool, which is very smart. I am just over gauge. I'm literally like a stitch out. So I've decided to stick with this needle size just to finish them off. Like, I didn't realise at the beginning just how large they were going to be. And I could certainly wear these under gloves, over gloves. but that's too many layers for me. My hands would get awfully warm and sweaty, and Glasgow might be cold, but it's not that cold that I've ever needed to double up in the past. So I will finish this one, and I will do the thumb, but this is probably just going to be something for on my wall, just to go on my display. And then I might look into doing them smaller. So the wool I've chosen to do this in is a Jamieson and Smith, and it's the 2-ply jumper weight. Let's see if I can get this to focus. No, not really. So yeah, Jamieson and Smith 2-ply jumper weight yarn, and it's in shade 1A and 132. So yeah, 2.75mm needles. I do like the pattern. I love colour work for anyone that's not a regular viewer. And I could certainly try and felt these, and I might still, because I don't plan on making the other one, especially not in this needle size, and for the wrist size in particular. Like, I have ridiculously large hands, but ridiculously tiny wrists, so it's a bit awkward. So I might try and felt them and see what the outcome is, because if the outcome is pretty good, then I could always make the second one, then repeat the felting process and hope that I get the exact same result. But time will tell. I didn't work on these last night when I got in from work, and it was because I am a little bit put off by how big they are and the fact that I won't really be able to wear them afterwards. But it's not, that doesn't mean I'm not going to finish them, because I do like the project, I do like the pattern, but they're just a bit too big. Sorry, my phone went off. So that's the first pattern that's being kept in an amazing project bag that my mum gave me. I've no idea who done it. There's no tag, no nothing, but it's still really nice. The other project that I've been putting a wee bit of work into, you'll be very surprised to see being picked back up, is my mitten that I was working on a long time ago. This was a kit I got from, oh, what's that place in Edinburgh called? Ingliston? I think it's Ingliston. It's where they were having the knitting and stitching show. That is now cancelled for anyone that's not already aware. The one in Edinburgh is cancelled, which I'm very sad about because it was right before my birthday and it was a really good treat. So yeah, I've been working, I put a couple of rows on this, and the reason it's only been just a couple of rows is because these are knit on 1.5mm needles, which are not particularly comfortable to work with. They do have a bit of give about them, they do bend a wee bit, and in general such tiny stitches are not fun for my very delicate hands, shall we say. So yeah, that's only had like 2 or 3 rows put on them, but I am also determined to get at least one mitten finished because they're so small, and I mean the needles are so small and the project is so big considering the stitch size. Again, I may only make one of these and again put it on my wall for decoration. So we're not going to really hang about that one for a while. I always get really breathless. And the last finished object I'm happy to talk about. No, last finished object? No, I have certainly not finished this. The last work in progress I am happy to talk about is my Sunset Highway jumper, pullover, whatever you would like to call this. And every time like I put this on, well, I do this for the podcast, then it always falls down, and this is always like going to be my screenshot for the podcast. I'm still working on the body. I think this was going quicker when I was taking it into work to work on, but the reason I stopped taking it into work is because my work inside is like a freaking sauna, and I did not swear there. So the way my work goes basically is there's 3 levels to my work. I'm on the middle level. Ground floor is cold. Second floor is a sauna. Third floor is hell because it's that warm. So I'm working with, the main body part is alpaca. So warm hands, alpaca, sweaty hands, no. So this went on the back burner when it came to projects being taken into work. And because of that, the progress has dramatically slowed down. But I do pick it up and I put a few rows on it. I'm in no immediate hurry to get this finished because I'd only be able to wear it at the weekends, and because I'm out at the weekends I need something just a wee bit thicker than a fingering weight jumper. So we'll see. But I'm really proud of that colour work. Like, that's the inside. Don't mind the strands at the end. But I'm really proud of that. That's pretty decent. There's still a good amount of give. And the front looks pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. I love this colour here. This one, right here. So for anyone curious about what yarns I was using, please revert back to a previous post, and I show off which colours I'm using, which yarn, so on and so forth. So yeah, those are my main works in progress. Oh, I did have a finished object that I forgot about. Nothing special, but I got it off the needles. I made a hat. I'll put it on. I'm very particular about my hats. I like them to cover my ears. Especially now that I have no hair. So yeah, this is just made out of iron yarn. That ball right there, to be precise. Nothing too special about it. Let's see if I can do this without really messing my hair up. That'll do. Nothing too special about it. 2x2 rib. And then it's about 9 inches up to the top of the crown. And that's just because, again, I like them to cover my ears. Yeah, I love the colour. It's nice and warm. It's very thick. I like a decent amount of band, but I don't like ones where you've got to double them up, because I don't really look too attractive with a band. See, I'll show. That noise is our coffee maker. Oh no, maybe that's not too bad. I look like a wee pixie. I could live with that. I'm just noticing that it's just got really, really dark here, and that's because the weather's dramatically changed outside. It is either going to start snowing again, or we're in for a bit of a rainstorm. So that's going to be fun when I go outside later. So yeah, that is finished object and works in progress out of the way. I had another works in progress that I was really excited to show you guys, but I'm having such problems with the yarn, and that's such a shame because I love this yarn. I bought this at the very first ever Perth Festival of Yarn in 2016. And it's by someone we all know and love, and I'm in no way... I'm only bringing this up as a concern for people that may have bought something very similar. But I got the double-stranded sock blank from Mothie and the Squid, and I'm having some severe problems with it. Like, I'm only on the toes, and I'm having some serious problems with it. And I'll see if I can show you what I mean. But, like... it's... you can't really... it doesn't pull out the way a sock blank should. The yarn's getting caught. I've already had to cut it once, and I've just dropped it. I've already had to cut the yarn once and join it back together because of this issue that I've been having. And I don't understand how I can't... like, every so often, like, when you pull a sock blank, it should just pull very easily, like you're frogging your entire work. But every so often, one of the two strands gets stuck, and it's looped through another two, if that makes sense. So the only way around that is to cut it. which is really, really upsetting, and it's really putting me off working on these because it's just such a hassle, and I don't want to have to cut my work and reattach it whenever I get to this issue. I was hoping it was just going to be once or twice, but this is now like the third or fourth time that I've had this issue. So unfortunately these are going to get frogged, and I'm probably going to bin the yarn, to be honest, which is a real shame because it wasn't cheap. It wasn't cheap at all. But we'll see. I might not bin it. I might just try and unravel it and try and work from there, but I was really hoping to get 2 at a time matching socks out of that, and now I'm really, really put off to work on it. I only started these last night as well. So yeah. I want to make all the socks at the moment because it's got so cold here. Conventional, like, everyday shop bought socks don't really seem to be cutting it for me. There's just something really nice about hand knit socks when it's so cold outside. So I do want to make a lot more socks, but I don't know, my mojo keeps coming and going, so we'll see how that goes. I did just cast on for a pair of mittens. I might actually work on those as I talk. So I cast on for a pair of mittens, and it's I want to say Maddie Harvey pattern, which is when I can't find the pattern. Let's see. Yeah, Maddie Harvey pattern. And it's the... I'll just show you, I can't see that. It's her mitts. And they're really gorgeous. So I'm working on those. And I'm working on it. It's a 50-50 yarn. It's a 50% acrylic, 50% merino. And I know some people are going, oh my god, you're using acrylic. But you know what? I'm using up my stash, so... And it might not be for me. I might gift them, because it's the time of giving gifts. If everyone gives gifts at Christmas, I don't know. It's not something I particularly do, because a lot of people put pressure on you for hand knitted and hand gifted items over the Christmas period, and I, to begin with, a very selfish knitter. I don't think a lot of people are knit worthy, and that's just from previous experience, because I have made gifts for people in the past and they have either misplaced them whilst they're out. It's not even misplaced them in their own house, they've misplaced them while they're out, which is where you would take more care of something when you're out. At least I do. Or people tend to think you're being really cheap by making them something, when in actual fact you're probably spending more money buying the yarn and your time. So those people can go shit. So yeah, I do have a few acquisitions to show off, and it's not so much a show off, haha, this is what I got. This is more of a, hey, this is what you could get, because some people don't know about these yarn dyers or fibre people, so I just like to share that. So I'll jump right into that once I finish this row. I got a wee bit of a cold going on, so I'm sorry for the sniffles. So I was on my Instagram and somebody had put up that they had some yarn, they had some fibre even. I've not bought fibre in a while, so I wanted to really treat myself. So this is from Cat and Sparrow, and this is one of the ones I got. I'm trying to get it with the least amount of glare. So it's this beautiful range of greens, pinks, a wee bit of silver silk in there. Let's see what's the fibre content. So this is, I said silk, it wasn't silk, it was bamboo. 40% Corriedale, 40% bamboo, and 20% Shetland, and it is soft. It's so soft. And I can't wait to spin that up. And this is in the Rose Garden colourway, which is just, I seen it was on one of the pictures for the Instagram post, and I just went for this one. I had to have this one. It's the reason I went on the website. All the other ones, yes, they were very beautiful, but I really liked this one. And then the other one I got is Luna. So it's this lovely shades of purple. Right, can anyone else see that? Monty, what are you doing? Yeah, there's a cat up there. So it's these lovely shades of purple and silver. And this is 40% Blueface Leicester, 20% flax/linen, 20% merino, and 20% merino/Selena. Let's see. It's soft, but it's not as soft as Rose Garden. So yeah, this lump here, this is Monty. He's possibly going to try and jump up to my wardrobe, or be daft and try and get to the top of my DVD unit. Where is he going? Let's see. I'm hoping he's just going to jump on the floor. That would be a vase of flowers. Don't worry, they're fake flowers and there's no water in them. Life with cats. My other acquisitions were... Oh, that's really crinkly. These... He's just making so much noise. Right, he seems to have settled down for now. So these lovely beauties came from Stranded Dye Works, which is Amy, who is Amy Florence on Instagram. And she also has a podcast for anyone that doesn't watch it, which I'm pretty surprised if there is people that don't watch it. This one is Frostbite, Batcave, Reef Dive, and Koi. And I love them. I think they're brilliant. At least I think that one's Frostbite. Yeah, Frostbite. Sock Blank, Fjord, Oasis, and Oasis. So they're all sock weight yarns. I'm hoping to have a lot better luck with this sock blank than the sock blank I'm using for Mothie and the Squid. I love this. This is Reef Dive. I haven't bought this one in the past, and the colours are just amazing. They pop so bright, so I can't wait to cast that one. And I don't know what it's going to be, but time will tell. Oh, crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. But now. So yeah, that's all I really have to talk about. I have some other projects on the go. I'm making a unicorn for someone, which is a commission piece. I still have my bulky jumper to work on. But really, everything's just kind of taken a back burner at the moment. I am back to work. That was my third week back at work, and I am exhausted most days when I come home, and I'm not even back on to full hours yet. I'm only on 9 till 2 at the moment. But having been off for 3 months has meant that going back is very exhausting, mentally exhausting, physically exhausting, everything. So when I come home from work, I am either binge watching things on YouTube, so all my other podcasters that I watch, or I'm binge watching things on Netflix. So for anyone that hasn't watched it, Punisher, double thumbs up for me, but disclaimer, very brutal. I wasn't even particularly happy about that part, but I liked the storyline more than I liked everything else. Also watching Designated Survivor, totally hooked on that. I think it's amazing. I've been watching all my podcasters, all my regulars and stuff. So I've been watching them. And then I've been trying to find some new ones, which has been really interesting. And yeah. So yeah. I really should do show notes. Oh well. Prize winner. Drumroll. I already drew a winner before I started podcasting, and I'm going to have to minimise the screen and get out my internet. So the winner is post number 13, and I don't know if it mixes up the comments for everyone else, but I'm doing it from my screen only. So the winner on my screen is Sharon Ann Barrett. Sharon Ann Barrett. So Sharon, if you could drop me a wee message on either Ravelry or Instagram, that would be fab with your address. I can get that posted out to you. And the winner for that receives 2 skeins of yarn that I posted at the end of the last podcast. And it's also on my Instagram for anyone that's remotely curious. It is a skein of... Oh, why didn't I grab them to begin with? I thought I knew the names off by heart. So Sharon is in for winning Caledonia Dive Works in her Springtime in Sterling colourway. This is a self-straping sock yarn. Very beautiful colours. And also massive ball of Lang yarns in these very bright and amazing colours. This yarn was bought in Blackpool from a yarn shop that is now no longer. So it's a very special to me yarn. This was one of my holiday yarns that I bought, and I wanted to share this with somebody. So, well done, Sharon. These will be working their way to you once you give me your address. I'm doing a bit of a de-stash in general. I have 3 skeins of yarn going off to Rosie of Pixel Atlantis. They will be sent out today, Rosie, I do promise. And then I have some other yarns. So if anyone's remotely interested, please send me a message. I'll be putting them on Instagram, and payment can be done via PayPal. But I'm going to be selling the likes of Ginger Twist Studios. It's upside down. Ginger Twist Studios. I've got 2 skeins of this. This is sport weight. Chopel in this gorgeous colour. I've got some Regia, some Noro. Hit me up, Eva. I know you like Noro. I also have some Yarny Love. Some Arcania. Nope. There you go, Arcania. More Arcania. Mossy and the Squids. More Arcania. Some sock yarn from Woolcrafts. Some Drops Lace in just this really gorgeous natural colour. More Arcania. More Craft. That has the ball band. It's tucked in the top and it's never been used. The ball band just broke. So it looks like that. It's upside down. Yeah, it's upside down. So it's just 2 skeins of that. So if anyone's interested in any of these yarns, please let me know. I'll be selling them through my Instagram page, and payment will be done through Etsy. Payment will be done through Etsy. No, it won't. Payment will be done through PayPal. So yeah, the reason I'm having a bit of a de-stash is just because of how much yarn I've bought recently, and I needed somewhere to put it all. So I went through my yarn in general, and I was just like, I was generally thinking, I was just like, will I make something with these? And more often than not, the answer was no, which is a little bit upsetting. But that's why I'm having a de-stash, because someone else can use them. So yeah, I think that's me. Thank you so much for watching, guys. My podcast is normally a bit all over the place like this. If that's not your style, I'm sorry. If it is your style, please remember to hit the subscribe button and then the wee bell to the side to let you know when I post a new video. Come over to either of my Instagram pages and say hi. And say hi on Ravelry. I do also have a Ravelry group. It's the Little Bee Podcast group. Just go into the group section, type in Little Bee Podcast, and my wee group should appear. One last thing, and I want to get you guys involved. I'm thinking of rebranding Little Bee Accessories into something else. The reason it was called Little Bee Accessories is because a few years ago I done more jewellery making than I did knitting. So that was obviously a lot more kind of like accessories and stuff. Whereas now I do want to kind of really become known for hand-dyed yarns and sewn project bags. So I don't feel Little Bee Accessories is a very good name for it. So leave a comment below with any good names you think that I could branch out with. Why did everything just get really dark? I don't know. So yeah, leave a comment below with any recommendations for business names, and I will be doing a few giveaways for the yarns and sewn bags that I have just now in the run up to Christmas. So please do follow the Little Bee Accessories Instagram page to be in with a chance of winning them. And I'll see you there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing Saturday and an amazing week or two. Happy knitting, happy crafting, so on and so forth, and just in general, have a great day. Thank you. Bye.